6 people were slaughtered with a pickaxe on a quiet Bavarian farm. But here's the part that will haunt you. The killer may have lived in their attic for days. The family heard footsteps, saw strange footprints, even found a missing key. They reported it, then days later they were all found dead, and to this day, the murderer was never caught. In the quiet, snow-covered countryside of Wiedhofen, Germany, in 1922, sat an isolated farmstead known as Hinterkaifeck. The Gruber family, Andreas, his wife Cecilia, their widowed daughter Victoria, her 2 children, and a live-in maid lived there in solitude. But just 6 months before the brutal murder that would make the farm infamous, something changed. Andreas Gruber began telling neighbors that he was hearing strange noises in the attic. Heavy, deliberate footsteps, objects being moved. A newspaper he never bought appeared on his table. His house keys vanished. Even more chilling, footprints in the fresh snow were seen leading to the house, but none leading away. Everyone told him he was paranoid, delusional. But his family believed him. They begged him to go to the police. He didn't. Then, the maid quit, annoyed, saying she believed the house was haunted. A new maid arrived, just 1 day before the murders. March 31st, 1922. In the dead of night, something or someone lured family members out into the barn one by one. They were struck down with a mattock, a heavy pickaxe-like tool. The killer then entered the house and murdered the 2-year-old toddler, Joseph, asleep in his cot. Then the maid. Her body was found in her bed, face crushed beyond recognition. All 6 were dead. But here's where it gets truly disturbing. Police said the killer stayed on the farm for days after. Theta animals were fed. Jongles were eaten from the kitchen. Chimney was seen puffing smoke. Someone lived in the house with their victims' corpses. Autopsies showed some of the victims lived for hours after the attack. The young girl, Cecilia, was found with chunks of her hair torn out in terror. Despite interrogating over 100 suspects, no one was arrested. Theories ranged from jealous ex-lover of Victoria, robbery gone wrong, to something darker, that the killer had been living in their walls, hiding in the attic, watching, waiting, listening. The Hinterkaifeck farm was destroyed in 1923, but locals say strange things still happen in the forest nearby. Echoes of footsteps, flickering lights, and cold gusts of wind in locked rooms. To this day, no one knows who the murderer was. No one knows how long they were watching, or why they chose to kill. But one thing is certain. The Gruber family knew something was coming. They heard it. They just didn't know it would be the last thing they ever heard. If you ever hear footsteps in your attic, don't ignore them. Don't brush it off as imagination. Because at Hinterkaifeck, they didn't listen, and they paid with their lives.